I just got my hands on a Nokia Lumia 1520, and here are my impressions. It is currently the highest-end Windows Phone device, and sports a Snapdragon 800 processor by Qualcomm, clocking at 2.2 GHz. It has 32 GB of internal storage, which is easily expandable via microSD card, and it features 2 GB of RAM. As many other Nokia phones, it comes in yellow, red, black and white. A green variant is expected to arrive with Windows Phone 8.1 in April, exclusively for AT&T customers. The Lumia 1520 features a 6-inch Full HD AMOLED display, which looks great and is actually one of the most beautiful AMOLED displays on the market. The viewing angles are good and the brightness is outstanding. Even in the brightest sunlight, the screen is still completely readable. Now let's talk about performance. Windows Phone runs pretty great on low-end hardware, and on a Lumia 1520 featuring a Snapdragon 800 processor by Qualcomm, it just screams. Apps launch much faster than on any other Windows Phone device, and the overall performance is great. Games run perfectly smooth, and actually more popular titles like Grand Theft Auto or Asphalt 8 are arriving to the Windows Phone store nearly at the same time as on Android or iOS. Watching movies and playing games is a great experience on the Lumia 1520, but since the speakers are on the bottom of the device, you can cover them easily while holding the phone in portrait. They're not the best speakers I've ever heard on a smartphone, but they're good enough. With such a big bright screen and a well-performing processor, you'd probably say that the Lumia 1520's battery is draining quite fast. This is absolutely not the case. The battery easily lasts a day and a half of heavy use, and even 2 days of moderate use. In my test I was able to play Asphalt 8 for 5 hours straight, without emptying the battery. Nokia takes camera business pretty seriously, which is why they obviously try to provide the best camera experience as possible. The Lumia 1520 has a 20 megapixel shooter with call-size lenses and optical image stabilization. Looking at the results, you wouldn't expect these photos to be taken by a smartphone camera. Photos taken in low light are bright, but noisy, and show some overprocessing. Overall, they're still more than acceptable. The Nokia Lumia 1520 is obviously a pretty big smartphone, and as you could expect, it actually isn't quite handy. One-handed use is barely possible, so you won't be able to use it while drinking a cup of coffee without having to fear dropping one or the other. And believe me, you don't want to drop the Lumia 1520. Even though I have fairly large hands, I mostly found myself holding it in one hand and using it with the other, and you'll probably do the same. All in all, the Lumia 1520 is a great phone, but it's far from perfect. It has a brilliant screen, takes great photos, and does everything it can do very fast. But it simply doesn't do everything you'd expect from a phablet. It lacks stylus support, which is, at least to me, one of the key features of a €700 phablet. Office on Windows Phone 8 would be so much more powerful with a stylus. In the end, the Lumia 1520 is just another Windows Phone 8 device by Nokia, except with a bigger screen, which doesn't mean it's a bad phone. It just isn't that good as a phablet.